All uniforms need to be kept clean at the start of each shift and be kept reasonably clean during operations. This way, you don't become a source of contamination. Company-provided uniforms and personal items must be stored in their appropriate lockers. Anyone entering into the facility must follow all the GMP rules. The first step is wearing a hairnet. Make sure that when wearing the hairnet, you're covering your ears. All facial hair needs to be covered. If the person is not clean shaven, a beard net must be worn. The beard net straps must be worn over the top of the head and not around the neck to cover all facial hair properly. Long hair must be restrained to avoid it from falling out from the hairnet. All uniforms shall be worn correctly. Lab coats and shirts should be snapped up and tucked in to provide adequate coverage, and also to ensure that hair, perspiration, or other foreign materials do not contaminate the product.
Cross-contamination is where bacteria and other germs are transferred from one place to another. Bacteria can spread very easily and quickly around a food facility. To avoid cross-contamination, good hygiene is critical. Hand hygiene is a basic thing that many of us get wrong. Our hands are covered in bacteria and other germs, which cross-contaminate everything we touch. If you think how many surfaces you touch every day, phones, toilets, money, they all carry very dangerous bacteria. A quick rinse under the tap doesn't actually get rid of dangerous germs. Water on its own is not enough. You must use soap and a good scrubbing action. Remember, proper hand washing takes at least 15 to 20 seconds. Most people don't dry their hands properly, but leaving hands damp actually helps germs to breed. So, before handling food, don't just splash and dash. Wash and dry your hands thoroughly. Here in purple, you can see the areas that people most frequently miss when washing their hands. Under the fingernails, in between the fingers, the thumb area, and under jewellery.
Wearing gloves is not a substitute for washing your hands. Food handlers are not legally required to wear gloves during food handling. You can use your bare hands as long as they are clean. If you choose to wear gloves, wash your hands beforehand, change gloves frequently during the day, wash your hands thoroughly after wearing gloves, don't reuse gloves, discard them after every use.
When working in a food facility, your clothing is very important. Hairnets prevent your hair getting into food. One single hair contains millions of bacteria that can contaminate the food and the facility. Hair is also a foreign body risk to the product. Hair can easily get into food without anyone noticing. Change your hairnet immediately if it tears, and throw it out after every use. Using different colour hairnets for staff and visitors is a good idea. Don't forget to wash your hands after changing your hairnet, as your hands will be covered in bacteria from your hair. It's important to wear a clean uniform at the start of every working day. Change your uniform if it becomes soiled with food. Uniforms must never be worn outside the food facility. Shoes must be cleaned regularly and stored appropriately, as they carry bacteria. Personal protective equipment, or PPE, include safety glasses, earmuffs, and hard hats. Don't forget to clean these regularly. Don't bring PPE between different areas of the food facility without cleaning first, as they can cause cross-contamination. Jewellery should not be worn by anyone working with food. Bacteria hide under rings. Earrings and the backs of earrings can get into product and go unnoticed.
Only safety shoes are allowed inside the plant. Make sure that you are following the current safety shoe policy. The shoes must not be worn home. You must sanitize your shoes every time you're entering the plant. Make sure that the entire sole of your shoe is sanitized. A lint roller is used to remove lint, small fibers, and hair from materials such as clothing. Everybody who enters into the facility must follow this rule. Food is not permitted inside the facility. Bottled water is not permitted unless it's used from the designated areas. Capri pants, shorts, and/or skirts are not allowed in the production area. Makeup, nail polish, or fake nails shall not be worn in the production or warehouse areas. Strong scented products such as perfume or aftershave shall not be applied before entering the plant. Jewelry shall not be worn in the factory. Medical bracelets are allowed with the approval of HR manager. Plain wedding bands are allowed. Make sure that your rings have no stone. At the beginning of the shift, you may collect all your tools from your assigned locker. When ending your shift, you may put your tools back into your locker. When using the restroom, make sure that you remove your lab coat and all your safety gear. Smoke 25 feet away from entrance doors, preferably in designated areas. Do not discard cigarette butts on the floor. As a reminder, smoking is not permitted anywhere inside the plant. All the food must be stored in the break room area and shall not be brought inside the plant. Nuts are not allowed in the break room and in the processing areas. No food or drinks are allowed beyond the break room area. Product into direct floor contact. Any wound must be protected to prevent product contamination. If you have a minor cut, visit a first aid station and wear only blue band-aids. If you have a bandage from home, remove it and replace it with a blue one. Make sure the bandage is secured at all times. Any medication must be stored inside a sealed bag and must be stored in your locker or your personal office space. Make sure that your medication is properly closed, and if this is a liquid, it must be contained in a plastic bag in a closed drawer. Also, any personal hygiene products must be stored in a sealed bag inside your locker.